I was talking to a financial director about how to use artificial intelligence for his accountant and in his department. And one of the big problems that he had was I have all those files inside of my company, but the problem is that I can't extract them from my company and put them inside of a tool because they are unreliable and I don't know where the data goes. And so I have a bunch of things to show you to make sure that you can use artificial intelligence like ChatGPT, Gemini, and make sure that you can go way faster with the data of your company or your customer. So for example, one of the big things to understand is that it's not because you have data and a tool that you're good. You need to make sure that you have a tool which is capable of giving reliable answer, so good or bad, and also to make sure that the data doesn't go somewhere you don't want. So it could be the US, it could be China, it could be another country. You need to make sure that where you send the data is actually secure for your company and the rules of laws of your country. So that's the first thing. You need to have a tool good and also secure in terms of data. For example, in France, we have Mistral, that is the ChatGPT of France. Big problem. Well, I'm gonna start with the positive if you allow me. Very good, doesn't send the data anywhere. Very, very good in terms of data security and governance. Problem, unreliable, really bad. Answer, not usable for companies. So again, you can have the best secure tool. If it doesn't work, well, you start again. So what I would advise you to do is to make sure that you find a tool that can actually do the job and then figure out for the data. So first thing, Mistral, sadly, I'm very sad, torn apart if I dare say about it, can't use it. Next thing, ChatGPT. ChatGPT, in terms of Excel data, in terms of like extracting information, pretty reliable, pretty good. Problem, he sent the data wherever he wants, even if you have to like parameter it to make sure it doesn't use your data. Not the best, to be honest. Not like on default mode, really not the best. For high-scale company, for a lot of people, will not advise ChatGPT. Very reliable in terms of result, not very good in terms of data. And so if you look at it, there's one last answer, which could be Gemini. My advice would be, nowadays you could use Copilot if you want, but again, results are really bad. You could use Gemini because until they change their policy, they're very good in terms of like data governance. They don't send everything where you don't want. At the same time, they're pretty reliable. They're not the best of the best, but they're pretty reliable in terms of, look at this. You're gonna have, if I can open my computer properly, right there, sorry. You're gonna have right there also on Gemini, when you create your account, the chances also to change the model that you use for free. And you should have the Flash model first, but if you want some very complex data analysis and all that, you can use the Pro version. And it should do such a big difference for your use of artificial intelligence. So that's what a little bit, a tiny little element, tiny elements. Gemini specifically in Pro mode, which is free. Also, you can use it for free. You can't use it forever, but like every day they reset your credits. Very good. But then you're gonna have the next problem, and that's what the financial department told me. They were like, it's very good. Problem is that if you can identify the document and where they come from, we go back to square one. Well, then somebody could like find the document, I could just pass it on, and it would be a very big problem for my department, my career, or the company. So the second element gonna be the little bit of operation. You need to have the operation down. You need to be able to get the data on your local computer, so you're still inside of the circle of the company. And then on the Excel, for example, you can delete some of the columns and keep the rest intact. So why does it work? It's because confidential, critical, so danger if becomes to be shared to the world, critical information is not just a number. To know that there is something which is related to 50 million, very interesting. I don't know what it is, but if I know that this company invested with this supplier 50 million, this is a different information, and that changed the game. Again, this is not because you get an information that this is critical for your company. It's critical if somebody can identify why there is this information. And so if you delete, if you remove the identification key, the element that identify why we have this information, then this is just an information. And you can treat it with your tool, the AI tool, or you can just let it here if you want. But that's the idea. You need to be able to identify which elements make the identification and remove them from the file. Because then you just have the segment, the different categories of spending, but you don't have the, oh, we spend with this person, we spend with this person in this category. This is what really is key. You need to remove the elements that make it identifiable. And the last thing that I will tell you, because I saw that so many times, is that even if you do this, there's always like tiny elements that are like common in your country that you might want to remove also. And the last thing is that make sure that the name of the file is not a company spending contract, like, the name of the company and then the name of the contract and then the file extension. This is a problem too. If you don't remove that, you're back to square one again. I know where it comes from. I know why this data exists. So you're going to have a problem. So make sure that you can delete the information, make sure that there's no identification key, and even make sure that the file name is good. And if you do that, you should be quite confidential. Use the right tool, make all this, and you're going to be pretty good. I will really invite you to think about it because, again, if it's not for you, it's going to be for your company. If it's not for your company, it's going to be for your customers. This is really big problem for them. This is actually high-stake thing, like where goes my data? Am I good? Am I legal on those elements? And if you can master this topic, like I showed you, with some element, some method that you can like reassure them on, you're going to do really good in artificial intelligence. So it was Loïc. Don't hesitate to contact us inside of the conversation, inside of the description. It was a pleasure to share you what I do with my job. Like I talk to a bunch of people. This is my job, basically. I talk a lot, so I'm very happy to talk to you today. I will really invite you to send me an email if you want. You should find it inside of the description. I will see you very soon. Bye-bye.